Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I'm your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Friday, August 23rd, 2024, and I am here with Doug. We are here to talk about the Major League Baseball slate today. We apologize. We've had a lot going on, a lot of things just in general going on, but Doug's had some health issues. He's feeling better now, so he's back with us on the podcast today. Doug, hope you're doing well. Glad you're doing better than you were. I know you had some rough weeks there, and we're back to do Major League Baseball today, so I'm excited about that.
I'm happy to be back. It's been actually a month to the day since I went to the hospital, so kind of nice that get going on this. I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been a month since you went to the hospital. It's been, I believe, June 7th was the last time we did a baseball podcast. So, almost 3 months.
Wow.
3 months. So, yeah, it's been a long time. If you're new to the channel, if you would give us a like and hit the subscribe button. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk, we would love to have you join us. We have memberships that start as low as less than $4.99 or right at $4.99 for a week. So you can join us with our membership. You'll get, of course, the rest of the Major League Baseball season, the Major League Baseball playoffs and World Series, the entire NFL season with our NFL special, which we'll be announcing soon. So we have a lot going on, but we will cover all the major sports except for, hockey. We don't cover that, but we cover Major League Baseball and NBA and, of course, NFL. And Doug covers PGA too, so we have that as well. So we'd love to have you join us. You can send us a DM on Twitter, X, at DFS Coach Talk. You can email me, jpdavis1982@gmail.com. If we have any new viewers today, if this is your first time viewing our podcast, we are giving away a free week's membership. So please let us know in the comments and the chat if you are new, and we will get you in to our membership. So Doug, let's go ahead and kick it off like we normally do with our game-by-game breakdown. We'll start with the first game, which is coming up here in a little bit at 5:40 p.m. Central Time. The Cincinnati Reds are taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Alan Busenitz, I believe, is the primary pitcher for the Reds today. It's Bailey Falter. Do you know anything about Alan Busenitz?
Nothing that I would break home about. He's a moderate prospect, nothing elite by any means, and I expect a lot of runs.
Okay. Unfortunately, that game's not on the main slate, so we can't stack the Pirates against him.
Yeah.
But
and is he the opener, or because I have Buck Farmer?
It looks like he's the primary reliever. I think Buck Farmer is the opener. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, either one are going to be pitching very many innings.
Yeah. So we can kind of look past that game. I wasn't thinking about that. That game's not even on the main slate, but it is the first game of the day. So then we have the Houston Astros in Baltimore taking on the Orioles. Hunter Brown against Cade Povich. 80 degrees, wind blowing right to left at 7 miles an hour. The Astros are a minus 120 favorite on the money line. Implied run total of 8.5 runs. We have the Colorado Rockies taking on the New York Yankees. Kyle Freeland against Carlos Rodon. Yankees are minus 340 on the money line. Implied total of 8 runs, 77 degrees, 7 mile an hour winds blowing right to left. We have the Los Angeles Angels in Toronto against the Red Hot Blue Jays. Man, I've been playing the Blue Jays like crazy this week, and I'm probably going to go back to them again tonight.
You have.
Jack Kokanowitz against Chris Bassett. Toronto is a minus 205 favorite on the money line. Implied run total of 9. So, yeah, I like Toronto again. And then Arizona is in Boston playing against your Red Sox. Ryan Nelson against Brian Bayo. Boston is minus 130 favorite. Implied run total of 10. I think that's probably the highest on the slate. That's a pretty high run total. As Bayo hasn't really been doing that bad, has he?
But he's been pitching a lot better the last couple starts.
Yeah,
6 innings plus the last 2 starts.
Yeah.
So he's got quality starts. He's got a couple of wins. He's looking better. He's
Yeah.
locating his sinker. He's getting his curveball slider over better.
Yeah.
So he's doing better. Yes, he's going up against a team that's really got good left-handed guys
True.
matching up against him. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Del Castillo has really been impressing me lately. It seems like every time I turn around, he's hitting a home run.
Crazy.
He's a young kid I like. And then 76 degrees with the wind blowing left to right at 7 miles an hour. We have the Texas Rangers taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Nathan Eovaldi against Tanner Bybee. Cleveland a minus 135 favorite at home. 7 implied run total, so low implied run total here with Eovaldi and Bybee pitching. 78 degrees, 6 mile an hour winds. We have the Cubs in Miami. Kyle Hendricks against Max Meyer. The Cubs are a minus 125 favorite. That's a little surprising given the way that Kyle Hendricks has been struggling. I kind of like the Marlins in an upset here. They're playing okay, but Kyle Hendricks has really been struggling this year. He's only won 3 games out of 13. So anyway, the implied run total is 8. They're in the Dome. Then we have the Washington Nationals in Atlanta taking on the Braves. Mackenzie Gore against Chris Sale. Atlanta's a minus 265 favorite at home. 7.5 implied run total. 82 degrees, wind blowing right to left at 8 miles an hour. We have the Detroit Tigers taking on the Chicago White Sox. Kiter Montero against Chris Flexen. Detroit's minus 155 favorite at home. 8.5 implied run total. 80 degrees, wind blowing in at 7 miles an hour. We have the Phillies taking on the Royals in Kansas City. Taijuan Walker against Michael Wacha. Royals are minus 142 favorite at home. 9 implied run total. 85 degrees, wind blowing right to left at 9 miles an hour. The St. Louis Cardinals are in Minnesota taking on the Twins. Andre Pallante against David Festa. The Twins are a minus 155 favorite at home. 8.5 implied run total. 80 degrees, wind blowing right to left at 6 miles an hour. We have the Brewers taking on we have my Milwaukee Brewers, I should say, taking on the Oakland A's in Oakland. Aaron Savali against JP Sears. The Brewers are minus 118 favorite on the road. 7.5 implied run total. Pretty pitcher-friendly ballpark, but the wind is blowing out at 9 miles an hour. It's 67 degrees, so it's not too warm, but the wind is blowing out at 9 miles an hour. Were you going to say something, Doug?
Well, no, I just was I just rechecked the weather on the Detroit White Sox game.
Yeah.
And in the over-under, Detroit got great prices, and I just might fade them a little bit because of the wind.
Okay. Yeah. Wind blowing in there. So then we have. I'm just going right through these games just as quick as I can because
go.
Running behind here. Then Mets in San Diego taking on the Padres. Paul Blackburn against Joe Musgrove. Padres minus 142 favorite at home. 7.5 implied run total. 70 degrees, wind blowing left to right at 11 miles an hour. San Francisco's Seattle. We have Hayden Birdsong against Luis Castillo. Seattle's a minus 142 favorite at home. Implied run total of only 7. The last game of the night, the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers in LA. Tyler Alexander versus Bobby Miller. Two pitchers that have struggled, so this could be a higher scoring game. It has an 8.5 implied run total, which is actually pretty high for Los Angeles. They usually don't have that high of a run total at home. Dodgers minus 205 favorite, 72 degrees, the wind blowing out at 10 miles an hour. So you got the wind blowing out, bad pitching. Should be a pretty high scoring matchup. All right. Well, we will go right from here into our pay up pitchers. This guy is probably going to be super chalk, but Chris Sale, I like 11,100 on DraftKings, 11,500 on FanDuel, $59 on Yahoo. Going up against the Nationals. He faced them earlier this year in June. He threw 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. He allowed only 2 runs for 49 fantasy points on FanDuel. He hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in any of his last 12 starts. That goes back to June 1st. So I do like Chris Sale today. Any other pay-up options that you're looking at besides Sale, Doug?
Well, I won't go more than 25% and the GPPs at any pitcher. It's kind of my rule. because of this year and the volatility of starting pitchers. Rendon, another extreme chalk. I like him a lot. Great matchup. Everything says Rodon, but every time Rodon's highly owned, he fails us.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fade him. And then I might pivot to Castillo.
Castillo, okay.
That's one. Yeah, I get a lot of other guys, but yeah.
Oh yeah. I know. We'll give those out to our members, but just for the podcast. So you're fading Carlos Rodon, and then you are starting Luis Castillo.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll fade Sale a little bit too.
Okay. I can see that for ownership purposes for sure. Moving on to value, I do like Aaron Savali, 7,200 on DraftKings, 7,700 on FanDuel, $37 on Yahoo. His last two starts, he's looked a lot better. He went up against pretty decent teams, and definitely a decent team in Cleveland. They're more than decent. They're one of the best teams in the league record-wise. And then Cincinnati. So he pitched 6 1/3 innings against Cincinnati. He allowed 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, and then he had 6 innings with no runs allowed, shutout, with 4 strikeouts against Cleveland. So I like him in Oakland, pitcher-friendly ballpark. Oakland has scored the 6th fewest runs per game at 3.98. So I do like Savali as a value play. Any value that you like, Doug, that kind of stood out on the slate?
Birdsong on DK, he's striking out everybody.
Birdsong on DK, yeah.
I don't like the quality start. He won't get quality start. Probably won't get a win. So FanDuel and Yahoo, I'm rolling him out. Montero, I am looking at. Out for DraftKings. Yeah, good matchup. And what I'll just throw out there, a Waka for FanDuel because he's been pitching deep a lot of games. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough matchup, but he has been. You're right. Your fade pitcher was Carlos Rodon.
Slight fade.
Okay.
Yeah, a big difference.
Yeah. I didn't really come up with one, honestly. So I guess we can move on to BVP. Kyle Schwarber going up against Michael Wacha. He's the main bat that I think that Wacha has to watch out for in the Phillies lineup tonight. Obviously, you have Bryce Harper, those guys, but he has had the most success. He's hit 368 with 7 hits and 19 at bats against Wacha, 2 singles, a double, and 4 home runs. So definitely likes to hit the long ball against Wacha. Who's your BVP today, Doug?
Well, and I said Wacha, I'm not going to be playing this much. My BVP, well, you kind of took mine already, but I also don't like I don't mind Shohei Ohtani at all tonight.
Yeah,
he has great numbers as well. So was he 4 for 6?
Yeah, 4 for 6
doubles and a home run.
Yeah, 2 doubles and a home run. Yep,
like him.
Obviously, we have multiple home runs as we'll give out in our Discord, our home run calls, usually at least 3 or 4 or more a night. I'm going to go with just one today. We'll give the rest out to our members. I'm going to take Marcell Ozuna against Mackenzie Gore. Who's your home run call or your top home run call for tonight?
Top's too easy tonight, really is. Why don't I do Jake Rogers?
Okay. A little off the board there. I like it. Low ownership. Yeah, for sure. Stacks, I mean, obviously the Yankees at home against Kyle Freeland, I think they're in play. The Dodgers against Tyler Alexander that we talked about. I still like the Blue Jays. I mean, they've been red hot against the Angels. And then my GPP stack, I like the Royals against Taijuan Walker. Who are you looking at tonight for your stacks, primarily on the GPP side?
GPP, Minnesota,
yeah, I considered them too. Against Palante, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, Palante.
Yeah, I like Julian Price.
Yeah, Julian, Edward Julian. PrizePicks plays real quick. PrizePicks plays of the day. Kyle Schwarber more than 0.5 hits. Marcell Ozuna more than 0.5 total bases. Spencer Steer more than 0.5 total bases, and I do have one more for our members. That's going to do it, guys. We got a quick podcast today. We're running behind, had a few errors and technical difficulties trying to get this thing started back today. That's what happens when you take off 2 months. But hope everybody has an awesome Friday, a great weekend. We got college football starting up tomorrow, so that's exciting. NFL starting in 2 weeks. Super excited about that. Doug and I will be providing NFL, and Coach D is going to join us on the NFL team this year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Our first podcast is going to be in a little while, probably next week, I'm thinking, or maybe the very beginning of the following week. So everybody stay tuned. Like I said, you can DM us on at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter or X. And real quick, let's check the chat. Do we have any questions? Which pitcher would you take in a single entry tournament?
Which site?
Yeah, which site?
If it's FanDuel, BB.
If it's FanDuel, I'm going to say Castillo. But I can see Tanner B.
Yeah, well, I like Castillo better, but if I'd have to check ownership. If ownership's high in Castillo, then I'll pivot to BB.
Is anyone in here new? If you are new, you can DM me on at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter. Let me know that you're new. You haven't seen our podcast before. You're not in our Discord, either one of those. And I will be glad to get you in our Discord for a week. Like I said, we're giving away a free week's membership. So if you can respond in here in the next couple of minutes, great. If not, then send me a DM on Twitter and I'll be glad to get you in. Doug, any last minute thoughts before we get out of here for now?
DeJong, I like him for KC at shorts or as well today. Yep, I like him as a sneaky play as well. And don't be afraid to pay down at both spots DraftKings, like a Montero Berton.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys very much for joining us, and we'll be back again next week as we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, and PrizePicks. Have a great day. Thank you.